PulsePointDiaries. My name is Brooke and I'm a registered diagnostic medical sonographer. That's really just a long fancy way to say ultrasound tech, but I like the way it sounds because I sound more official. Have you ever thought about going to ultrasound school but needed just a little bit more insight about what it takes before making that big commitment? Well, this video is for you. Before getting into the nitty-gritty, I want to tell you a little bit more about why I chose ultrasound. So I previously had a degree in medical billing and coding, and I worked in a doctor's office prior to COVID. And while I did love my job and my coworkers, it personally was not a very fulfilling job for me in terms of what I was doing. At that doctor's office, they also performed a lot of different kinds of ultrasound. I got to see echocardiograms. I also got to see general sonography. After seeing those things in the profession, I really took an interest in it and I wanted to go to ultrasound school. So first, let's talk about what ultrasound is. Ultrasound, or sonography, is where we use sound waves to create an image on the screen, and that image gives us diagnostic information where we can help physicians and radiologists diagnose a variety of medical conditions. Ultrasound is used for so many purposes in modern medicine, from scanning arteries and veins looking for clots or arterial disease, to scanning organs in the abdominal cavity looking for masses that are benign or malignant, to scanning babies to ensure proper growth and development and make sure that there's not any types of abnormalities. And it's important that you are sure about which kind that you want to go into. Most programs offer either a general ultrasound program that is combined with OBGYN or a cardiovascular program. I went to a general program personally, and I love that I chose that because I do love general ultrasound. But as far as specialties go, you can specialize in abdominal ultrasound, you can specialize in cardiovascular, you can specialize in OBGYN, musculoskeletal, neuro. There's so many different routes and paths that you can go in, but typically you will start at one or the other, either a general ultrasound program or a cardiovascular ultrasound program. Most ultrasound techs choose to go to a 2-year program to get their associate's degree in medical sonography. That is what I did myself. However, there are many routes that you can take to become a sonographer. You can also get a bachelor's degree. There are certificate programs, or you can even cross-train into the field if you already hold some kind of other imaging modality. It all depends on what things are and what they look like in your personal area, but there are many ways and different paths to get into ultrasound school if you are interested. Going to a KHAP accredited school is not necessary, but it is recommended because you will be receiving knowledge that is required as an industry standard. In order for schools to maintain their KHAP accreditation, there are certain factors and certain things that must be in their curriculum in order for people to graduate from that program and to sit for specific examinations right away. Now, if you do choose to go to an unaccredited school, that is totally in your park and you're up to you. However, you may face difficulty getting a job if that is a requirement that you come from an accredited school. Applications to get into ultrasound school vary for every single school. Some schools may have a very in-depth application, or some schools may have a very simple, straight-to-the-point application. For my particular school, there was no interview process, there was nothing we really could do, no essay, nothing that would make you stand out amongst your classmates except for your grades. We were admitted purely on a point system, and my program only took 8 students per semester. When you're entering into a program that has such a competitive entryway, it's important that you try your best to get the best grades as possible in your prerequisites. It's okay to not be perfect at everything, but you do want to do your best because it could be between you and another candidate. I know that sounds stressful, and I know it sounds scary and daunting, but it can be done. I personally struggled a lot with math and science and almost everything that you need to know for ultrasound school. But what really helped me out was just realizing that this was a dream that I wanted to follow and that I had to remain dedicated in order to see that dream come to fruition. Ultrasound school is a very big financial commitment in terms of other things as well, because it may affect your ability to work. For me personally, I worked during my first year of the program, but about halfway through the program, I stopped working because it was just not sustainable to me, and I felt that it was not conducive to good learning, and it was affecting my grades a little bit. An ultrasound school is very, very particular and strict about grades. Besides money, the biggest expense that you will have in ultrasound school is time. Yes, time. If you're not in class, you'll be at clinical. And if you're not in clinical, you'll be at home studying. I think in my first semester, I barely slept because it was exhausting. Some schools, you may be in clinic for 10, 15 hours a week. Others, some might have you in clinic up to 40 hours a week. It really just depends on your school. You also want to make sure that you have reliable transportation because your school can assign you a clinical site that is either very close to where you live or very far. I know that I drove personally up to an hour, sometimes even an hour and a half away from home for clinical sites. So just make sure that you have a car or some form of transportation that is able to get you to these places. Unfortunately and fortunately, you will have to make a lot of sacrifices for ultrasound school. It doesn't matter if you're a mother of 4 or a single young 21-year-old. It doesn't matter what age you're deciding to go to school or what kind of life structure you've got going on. So when I say sacrifices, it depends on what sacrifice means to you. It could be sacrifices to your social life. You may not be able to see your friends as often. It may be sacrifices to your sleep schedule. You can't sleep because you're going to work after you get out of school. It might be sacrifices to your grades because if you're working, you might not be able to apply yourself to studying as much as you would like to. Hopefully you have some good resources in your life or someone who can help you in order to get through these things. Now, with that all said and done, yes, you may have to make sacrifices in life, and those sacrifices will look different for everybody. However, there are also great ways that you can find balance and still feel happy while you're in the program. Before you commit to an ultrasound school, make sure you do a thorough analysis of your budget. That is one thing I did not do because I thought that I could do it all. I thought I could maintain working part-time at least 20 hours a week. I thought that I could, somehow wake up early and get to school and it would all be just great. I didn't realize, it didn't even cross my mind that I may not be able to work because I thought that I was going to work the entire time. I thought that I would. Think about scenarios that may be different or may be unexpected to you. Think about what you would do if you unexpectedly could not work, or what you would do if you got pregnant halfway through your program, or what you would do if someone in your family was ill. Because although 2 years is very short in regards to education, 2 years is very long in terms to living life, right? Anything can happen. Now, ultrasound is a very rewarding career. It is a lot of commitment to get through school. However, it can be done. I've done it and so many others have done it, and you can too. If there's a topic or a question that you have that I didn't hit on in this video, please feel free to leave a comment down below or DM me on Instagram at PulsePointDiaries. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about anything regarding the field. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I'll see you back with the next one. Bye!